time for us to go viral. Former Oregon State wideout Ronald Dockery took to social media to showcase the different personas of a wide receiver, from Mr. Footwork to the coach's son. All right, CC, where do you fall?
Oh, there's Butterfingers that we know. See, don't got no love for that. Coach's son.
Let's see. Oh, he's still good. It's okay. Great job. Great job. Good effort. Good effort.
Blames the quarterback. Oh, this is good.
Cute.
See, he doesn't have a hands one that I can tell. The clumsy wide receiver.
Oh, there you go. Fall
there
down.
we go. Come on. Come on. The Mr. Footwork is good, though.
Oh, the All-American. Oh, that was actually a great catch.
I prefer using something that's more useful. I don't know where these guys have all this time to make all these videos and everything. Well, now, that was well done.
But you would also note that the way he's being CG'd is former Oregon State wide receiver. So not currently playing anywhere necessarily. Maybe a coach somewhere on his own, a little instruction, trying to get a little like this
and
publicity
from
his videos. I got no problem with that.
No, I knew he wasn't any good. I knew that. Oh, I knew he wasn't no star.
Stories to start your morning, sponsored by Gillette Clear Gel. We start with the Cowboys. One former scout says the Cowboys have to lock up DeMarcus Lawrence as soon as possible. See, you think Dallas listens?
They better listen. Man, these guys are rare. You need one in the National Football League unless you're New England. Now, they do it by scheme, and they're going to make sure their guys are in the right place. But everyone else, man, you need a dude. And the Cowboys have one. Lock him up, man. He's earned it.
Listen, the Cowboys should listen. But one of my absolute tenets at my agency, is if you get this close to hitting free agency, you never sign the extension now. You've already played the games. You've already dealt with the injury risk. You've already been franchise tagged. Wait until free agency begins. See what the other offers are. Let the Cowboys make whatever offers they want. Those offers will still be there once the league year begins.
Yeah, but the question is, do we lock him up?
To the Steelers now. One former Pittsburgh player was critical of Big Ben over the weekend. Hines Ward saying the Steelers quarterback has to do more as a leader. See, you agree with Hines?
Well, I've known all along that there were some leadership problems, not only from Mike Tomlin, but there's been leadership problems with Ben Roethlisberger. He could have been a better leader. But at this point in your career, it's hard to be changing your leadership style. And based on the general manager, the general manager has empowered Ben Roethlisberger. Hey, man, you're dealing with kids. You can tell them anything. So Ben Roethlisberger, he's had this problem for a long time, and I don't think he'll ever get that solved.
And the Steelers have made the clear choice to publicly endorse Big Ben's behavior and leadership style.
Yes.
When Kevin Colbert says it's Ben and 52 kids, as you alluded to, that is, I couldn't believe he said it, but that is giving Ben carte blanche to do what he wants.
And I'm sure there's other grown men in that locker room. Pouncey, Cam Hayward, especially in Cam Hayward, guy's never been involved in anything controversial. He's anything but a kid.
Absolutely right.
He's more responsible than Ben Roethlisberger ever will be.
How about the veteran on the team? He's a kid, Villanueva?
No.
Yeah.
Both the Spurs and the Clippers lost yesterday. They currently sit at the 7 and 8 seed in the West, respectively. Nick, what does this mean now for the Lakers' chances?
Listen, it means the Lakers aren't dead yet, because yesterday was really good for them. The Spurs losing to the Knicks, Clippers getting blown out. You would expect them to lose to the Nuggets, but getting blown out the way they did, it means the Lakers' loss to the Pelicans wasn't as damaging as it could have been. But the flip side is, had they just taken care of business against the Pelicans, they'd be in really good shape given those losses. But it gives the Lakers a little breath of life.
Yeah, it sets them up that they can still get into the playoffs. You make a great point that now seeing with the other teams, the Spurs and the Clippers, we thought the Clippers after the trade deadline, based on the moves they made, that they were punting on the season, trying to get into the lottery, trying to get a high pick. The Spurs, we didn't expect that. So everything is set up for the Lakers to make a huge turnaround here the last stretch of the season.
All right, things are going from bad to still bad for the Boston Celtics. Their latest loss, a tough one to the lowly Bulls over the weekend. In fact, of the 4 teams with the worst records in the NBA, the Celtics have now somehow lost to 3 of them. The loss to Chicago drops them to the 5th seed in the East, but Kyrie Irving says Boston will be just fine come playoff time.
You know, it is what it is. Like I said, I don't get frustrated about this stuff anymore. It's just part of the regular season, you know, in the playoffs when we could plan for a team, prepare for a team. You know, I still don't see anybody beating us in 7 games.
It's starting to get to a point where you're concerned that the struggle you guys had over the weekend in the playoffs?
No, I'll be fine.
Why do you think that?
Because I'm here.
I guess LeBron told him to be a leader. He's trying to be a leader. He's listening. What do you think, Nick? What do you think about what Kyrie had to say?
Listen, Kyrie's not the problem. Kyrie wasn't the reason they lost to the Bulls, that horrible loss coming off a game where Kyrie was part of the problem, the 1-point loss to the Bucks when Kyrie was really bad until the end. But the Bulls, he was excellent. And they got beat badly by a terrible team. He can say, I don't see any team beating them in 7 games. Not any team ahead of them in the standings that I could confidently pick them beating in 7 games, except for Indiana, who's without Oladipo, but still, by the way, has held on to its spot.
Right, I think that's the most shocking stat in the NBA this season. Right now, the Indiana Pacers being the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference.
They were the 3rd seed when Oladipo got hurt,
yes.
And everyone said, okay, they might fall out of the playoffs entirely or certainly to the bottom half of the bracket, and they're still there. The Celtics have been in 5th place in the East almost the entire year. And so even if they tick up a spot, you're looking at least you'd have home court for the first round, but not any time after that. And where are, other than Kyrie, let's just say Kyrie is a given, because the way he's playing right now, plus his playoff resume, I'll give that to him. I think he's earned it, that we think Kyrie, or I think Kyrie will show up and play well, assuming he's healthy. But who else do we know? Who else on the Celtics? We know we have a good idea of what Al Horford will give you, and it's very good defense, it's good leadership, and it's mediocre offensive numbers. But do we know what Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown? We might know what Gordon Hayward's going to give you in a negative way. Marcus Morris has been their 2nd best player on the team this year. Kyrie's exuding confidence because maybe he has to, but deep down, I don't know that he can feel this way, because I don't know anyone can feel this way about the Celtics right now.
Yeah, I know that other Celtics don't feel that way. I believe that Kyrie is reaching. He's reaching a little bit for a LeBron-type quote. I don't believe he has the ability. I know I've seen him in the playoffs, but he's never taken over a series. He's never done what LeBron's done. So the confidence that his teammates have in him, they haven't seen Kyrie do it. I mean, they were just kids when Kyrie hits that shot against Golden State. What, were they in high school playing AAU ball? You think they're going to take that type of confidence? No, they're not. So they're in a bad spot. You do not want to be in that 5th spot. You do not want to play a 6-7 game series with Philadelphia to start the playoffs. No, that is not the way that you want to start. I can understand Kyrie trying to get this team to be like, listen, if we get in one of these series, I do believe in our team, but they don't believe in each other. So I understand. He tried to stay positive, but the way they're playing, they're not gelling as a team this late in the season. And we have only seen, and to me, there's only 2 players right now, maybe 3, that will be able to say this. James Harden, if he was hurt, you go to the locker room and say, hey, man, you guys are struggling. Are you worried? He's like, no. Well, why not? Because I'm here. LeBron, okay, he can say that. Kyrie's not in that class. Just because he hit that shot to build in Game 7 against the Warriors, to me, that doesn't carry over to carrying a team from the 5th spot in the Celtics with this young, unproven team together. You don't get that courtesy from me.
I agree. I wasn't saying I think he can carry them to the finals. But the point I'm making is, even prior, other than that shot, he's got multiple 40-point playoff games. We know that the playoff moment won't be too big for Kyrie, but does that mean he can overcome what is right now a team that doesn't know what its identity is, a team that doesn't know who its 2nd best player is, a team whose young blue chip prospects in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum have not gotten 8% better
I do believe Kyrie's success will harm the Celtics team because they were successful without him. Kyrie Irving was successful without anyone else besides LeBron James, and he didn't want to give LeBron credit. So for me, that confidence, when you get in these playoff series, you know what Kyrie thinks right now? I can take it. That's not the way the Celtics are their best basketball team.
But not having an identity, not getting the guys to play together, lack of chemistry, doesn't that all fall on Brad Stevens?
Listen, there's not been a good year for Brad Stevens. I mean, remember last year, I thought he was the coach of the year. and then he didn't get a single vote from his colleagues. And it was really interesting when Dwayne Casey won, and the comments from some of the other coaches, when you read the articles where it was anonymous head coach this, a lot of people were saying, we've crowned him a little too early. Let's all calm down. You told me, you thought I crowned him a little too early when I said he is one of the best trade assets in the league, second best coach in the league to Popovich. He has not dealt with this season well, and we are now 75% of the way through it. Like it doesn't erase the good work he's done previously, but it does. Certain coaches are very good with certain teams. The best coaches are good. No matter what team you give me, I'll figure out a way to make it work. He has not yet figured out a way to make this team work.
All right, let's move on.